Hello and welcome back to Afterglow episode 20. And this game that we're going to be talking about today is still in the news a little bit, but pretty exciting times for it. We're talking about Super Mario RPG today. And a few weeks ago it was announced it is getting a port over to the Nintendo Switch, but it's not really just a port, it's a full remake. And from the trailers, it looks awesome. I cannot wait to replay this game again because Mario RPG was a really easy RPG, not quite as easy as Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. But it was a pretty easy RPG, but it was fun. It was just so much fun. It took the Square style of RPGs in the 8 and 16-bit era, and it combined that with just the cutesiness of the Mario world, and it just perfectly melded those two things into an awesome gameplay experience. And we'll be talking about it after the music cut. And welcome back. I really wanted to leave more of that music track in for this game because that entire track is awesome to listen to, but it's a pretty long track. I think it's about 5 minutes long, maybe more, which is really long for a Super Nintendo audio track. But I had to cut it off at some point to keep our episode length at around that 15-minute mark that I like to keep it at. So my memories of Mario RPG start off with Nintendo Power, where they were covering the game and flipping through the magazine. I'm here like, wait a second. The guys behind Final Fantasy are making a Mario game. Like, this looks like something I gotta check out. So the game released, and I managed to rent it, and it was really, really, really good. It's a short game. Like, whenever I rented it, I got about halfway through the game. But I really enjoyed it a lot, but couldn't find a way to purchase a copy at the time. Yeah, I definitely could have if I would have, or would have if I could have. English. But never had the opportunity to. However, literally, like, I want to say 1 to 2 years later, I got a PC. I'm actually going to look real quick at the release date. And of course, now that I'm looking for the release date, here we go, 1996. Okay, so it was about 2 years later I had gotten a PC. And I really wanted to finish this game. So I attempted to emulate it, and there was a ROM dump of it, but it did not work, period. But this was like the early days of Super Nintendo emulation, and there were constant updates. And eventually, and it was like a matter of months, I believe, like 2 or 3 months, there was an update to the emulator, and just like that, bam, Mario RPG worked. So I ended up playing it and beating it on my PC using the that Microsoft Sidewinder controller that I had mentioned many, many episodes back. I can't remember, but yeah, it was a really, really good experience to finally beat that game on an emulator. And I didn't cheat. I know using an emulator you can take advantage of save states and whatnot, but a lot of times whenever I used an emulator back then, and even to this day, to be honest with you, I don't really mess with the whole save state thing. I know I could take advantage of it and whatnot, but for the most part, I just play the game as it was meant to be played. There are a few games where I will go and maybe use the rewind feature if I feel that a certain death was avoidable and I just slipped in the controller or something. And you can call it cheating if you want, but every once in a while I'll use the rewind feature, but not very often. But I really, really enjoyed this game, but it disappeared after the Super Nintendo version. The N64 came out, and instead of getting Mario RPG 2, which would have been awesome, we got Paper Mario. Still a solid game. I mean, Paper Mario is really good, but it was no Mario RPG 2. And we never got Mario RPG 2, a lot of that being due to Square moving to PlayStation to make their mainline games. I think there is a feeling of betrayal that Nintendo felt because we didn't see anything from them for the longest time until I believe the Game Boy Advance whenever Final Fantasy Dawn of Souls came out. I believe that was the first Square Enix game that had released on a Nintendo console since Mario RPG. So let's look up Dawn of Souls real quick. 2004. So yeah, there was a good 8-year period where we did not see any Square Enix game on a Nintendo console. But fences haven't mended, and thankfully, finally, after many, many, many years, we are getting not just a re-release, but a full remake. Now, as far as myself, after I beat the game in emulation, I did pick up a copy in the mid-2000s. But my copy was broken, and I was really bummed about it. But it wasn't fully broken. I don't know how to explain it, but you could play the game all the way up to the minecart stage. And then once you started playing the minecart stage, the game would just freeze on you. I have no clue if it has something to do with like the mode 7 being borked in the game somehow, or in this particular cartridge, but I was really bummed because I had finally snagged a copy of Mario RPG and I could not beat it because it kept locking up on the minecarts. So, I mean, I could replay it through emulation, but the minecart section, it's good, I want to say, a third of the way through the game. I just didn't want to mess with replaying through the beginning all the way over again. So, fond memories of the game, but I didn't play it again until the Super Nintendo Classic came out. And I jumped on buying the NES and the Super Nintendo Classic whenever they came out. I remember with the NES Classic, actually, it was one of those where it had been sold out for the longest time, then all of a sudden, bam, it was like in the store on the display, and I'm here like, I gotta buy it now, because I'm not gonna be able to find this thing again. And I got real lucky and managed to order a second controller for it online, the official one. And a few months later, the Super Nintendo Classic came out. I managed to snag one of those too, and one of the first games I played on it to completion was Super Mario RPG, and it was one of them that I was like so happy that I finally beat it again. I beat it fairly quickly. I think it was a matter of a week or two, with me only playing like an hour or two a day. But yeah, I was just so happy because it's such a cool story. And I love seeing that it's not only coming back, but it's coming back remastered. That way a whole new generation can check it out. It's still, I'm sure it's going to be an easy RPG. But easy doesn't always mean bad. And it's so much fun. Even if you don't get into role-playing games, I would recommend it for any Nintendo fan or a fan of Mario just because, like, the game world is amazing. Also, there's a couple characters that you do not see in any other game for the most part, which is Mallow and Geno. Gino is completely awesome. I'm not the biggest Mallow fan at all, but Gino is awesome. I love that guy. But that's pretty well it for my memories of Mario RPG. And I'm looking forward to playing the new remake that's coming out. Cannot wait till the end of the year for that to be released and to play through the game again. This time, not only in high def, but I'm curious to see what all they're going to add to it. Now, I know they've apparently made one change to the battle system, but it's still turn-based. They're not doing like the Final Fantasy VII remake thing where they're completely changing everything. It's the same story, similar battle system. I want to see, like, are we getting new dungeons? Are we getting a new secret boss? There's all kinds of stuff I'm looking forward to. But that'll be it for this episode of Afterglow. Thank you for listening to my rambling about Super Mario RPG, and we're 20 episodes in. So if you like hearing to these ramblings of an old guy reminiscing about his, growing up playing video games, check out some of the past episodes and maybe give us a follow. Check out some of the future episodes. Until then, I'm going to leave you guys with another music clip from the game. This game is awesome music, by the way. Thanks for listening, and I will see you on the next episode of Afterglow.